if you feel any type of negativity, jealousy, envy, it's normal. So people will tell you like, that's not okay and you shouldn't feel that and you shouldn't get upset or let it bother you a little bit. But it's actually sometimes a normal reaction, because what we do is we project our difficulties in life, our challenges, our circumstances, our obstacles, and it is a form of victim mentality that we have been conditioned into, most of us, throughout our childhood, throughout our working lives, being employees, working in different places, the news, the media, the government, this and that. So it's actually a opportunity for us to feel those emotions and then choose to repurpose them into a new meaning. And if you don't do that, you will continue to block that abundance from yourself. And many people actually stay stuck. All right, good to see all your faces. Super excited. Just make sure that you mute yourself if you pop on here so we don't get any weird random sounds. And say what's up in the chat. Let me know how you're doing, how you feeling. We got a jam-packed, action-packed call today. Super pumped. I want to take a moment also to welcome and congratulate all of our newest faces in the community. We got Jessica, Candice, Emily, Melanie, Carly, Desiree, Sylvia. Awesome. So happy to have all of you here. And if you are new and it is your first call, please do let me know in the chat that it's your first call. I have a personal mission and goal to always do my best to help you feel as if you got your ROI, your return on investment, just off your very first call with all of us. And so if that happens for you today and you feel amazing, that you feel like you got so much value, please make sure that you do let us know, let my team know, let me know, tag me in an Instagram story or something like that. And that's always much appreciated. So that's what we're going for. That's what we're aiming for. And it's going to be outstanding. As you guys know, maybe you guys follow me on Instagram, you might have seen that I was just recently Kristoff from Frozen. And my hair was absolutely ridiculous. I still haven't recovered. I think I need to go see a therapist to just kind of like get through some of these emotions of what I look like in the mirror. But it was a lot of fun. My daughter just had the best time. She couldn't even believe that daddy was Kristoff. It was hilarious. So anyway, that's a funny update on my end. The things we do for our children to give them an extra little boost or smile or whatever you want to call it, but it was hilarious. I do have a little bit of background noise here. I got to try to find, I think it's Christy, unacceptable. Christy, come on now. Christy probably has something to say. That's why she's unmuted. She probably wants to pop out here and have something to say. Hey, is that right? Is that what's going on? All right, sweet. So anyway, that was hilarious. On a positive note, we also have our 682 and above bonuses and quarterlies paid out last few days. And let me tell you, man, the amount of abundance and the amount of prosperity inside of the GPM community, inside of my Enagic organization is so incredible that for all of you that are not there yet, you got to get there, man. I'm telling you, it's so worth it. I cannot explain to you how it feels when you get compensated every month and every quarter for the pain and suffering that you endured in the early stages of your business. That's what it is. It's kind of like, hey, I know that you're still recovering from all of that abuse of you building your business, so let's just give you this monthly check to make it feel better. That's what it feels like. Seriously. And so for all of you that are working towards it, it's hard to understand what is on the other end when you're not there yet. You have to use your imagination. You have to have faith. You have to get inspired from other people that are a little bit further down the journey than you. And when you see that I made a couple of posts in the GPM group and stuff, and you'll see people sharing some figures and some numbers, and maybe even in your smaller communities, you have leaders that are talking about it, maybe sharing on social media and things like this. One of the most important things that I really highly, highly recommend that you are aware of and that you pay attention to is how it makes you feel. And it's tricky, man. I get it. It's tricky because if you're going through a hard time in your life right now, financially speaking, and you have some bills and some debts and the holidays and back to school and who knows, right? There's so many things that financially affects us with our confidence, with our, especially men, our ability to feel like we're providers and protectors. And if the finances are a little bit, off, it really affects men a lot as well. Like they feel really guilty and negative about not doing better, not providing more, or whatever. And there's a catch-22 with this. And the catch-22 is that if you feel any type of negativity, jealousy, envy, it's normal. So people will tell you like, that's not okay and you shouldn't feel that and you shouldn't get upset or let it bother you a little bit. But it's actually sometimes a normal reaction. Because what we do is we project our difficulties in life, our challenges, our circumstances, our obstacles, and it is a form of victim mentality that we have been conditioned into, most of us, throughout our childhood, throughout our working lives, being employees, working in different places, the news, the media, the government, this and that. So it's actually a opportunity for us to feel those emotions and then choose to repurpose them into a new meaning. And if you don't do that, you will continue to block that abundance from yourself. And many people actually stay stuck in their lives because of this. So as you go and celebrate, or as you go and see this, sometimes it might feel, as these emotions come up, repackaging them, repurposing them, and sometimes it feels like you're going against your real emotions and feelings when you go to like celebrate somebody, congratulate somebody. But what I want you to think about is that by you celebrating other people, you're celebrating yourself. By you giving love to others that are winning, you're giving love to yourself. It is literally connected. So any type of animosity or weird feelings that you have is coming back onto you also. So we need to be very mindful and very aware that we don't feel that type of way, especially from your own community, right? Your own colleagues and people that might be cross-line, upline, sideline, doesn't really matter. They're in the same space. For one, the wider network marketing, online community, direct sales communities, all companies, not even just Enagic, all companies, we're all on the same mission. We're all on the same team. We all have very similar beliefs about life, about lifestyle, about family, about freedom, etc. And even though they've chosen different vehicles to make that a reality, technically we're on the same, bigger team, or we're on the same mission. So that's one thing. But then when we bring it back into like Enagic, it's like that is the wider family. We are all contributing to the overall growth and success of all of us, regardless of our individual efforts and regardless of our individual results so far. So anyway, I remember there were lots of situations when I was growing up and stuff where I didn't get it at the time, but my dad and my mom had these comments about wealthy people, rich people, people that had freedom, people that had nice things, nice cars, nice holidays, looked happy with their kids or any of this kind of stuff. There was this really interesting dynamic of, on one hand, there was a reaction, like the first reaction was positive, and it's like they admired it or they wanted it or, they desired it. And then it was like a coping mechanism that kicked in, where within seconds it was like, oh, but, and then came the parachute excuses. But they must have inherited it. It must be mommy and daddy's money. They must have won the lottery. Some kind of like sort of cop-out sort of way of coping of like, well, it can't actually be hard work. It can't actually be they earned it. It can't be legitimate. It has to be illegal. So this weird like blanket over other people's success. But I was always confused by that. And so it took me a lot of effort, a lot of work over the years to identify why that was. Why did I feel that type of way? And some of you may not have any issues with this at all, and that's great. But there might be some of you on this call that genuinely struggle with this, where you see people winning, succeeding, ranking up, having big months, any of this kind of stuff. And there's this element of like, why are they able to do it and I'm not? Or, I'm working harder than them and why do they have the results? Or like any type of like, I guess it's a form of comparison, but it goes deeper than that. So these are opportunities for all of us to look into that, to acknowledge that. If we feel it, that's okay, feel it. But then be like, where's that exactly coming from? And why do I have that response or trigger going on here? And what's really interesting about this is if you do have it and you are honest about it and you do reflect on it and then you go get some kind of help with either a therapist or hypnotherapy or meditation or a coach or something like this to kind of help you a little bit further down that specific track, then that is often what actually unlocks your ability to be successful in this business. It's not the strategy, the tactics, the funnels, the ads. That's all tactical stuff that's pretty straightforward. It's usually we're in our own way about these other emotional, deeper parts of ourselves. That is the real work. So you've probably heard people say, work harder on you than you do on your business to have results in your business. And people are like, well, how do I work harder on me? Well, that's what it is. It's like facing those shadows and demons and limiting beliefs and stuff like, why am I the way I am? Why do I show up the way I show up? Why do I procrastinate in this area of my life, even though I know it's good for me? Why do I avoid doing this when I know that I should, but I still have a hard time actually doing the thing? These are questions that if you actually dig deeper, you'll uncover the truth, and the truth unlocks the door for you to walk through. And then you're like, oh, this business is so simple. And that's really what you notice from the people doing the bigger numbers and the bigger results and stuff. They make it look easy, right? Have you guys ever thought that? It's like, how do they make it look so easy? It's like they just kind of effortlessly get results. And it's not actually true. It's not that it's so easy for them. It's that they've actually overcame some of the things about what was holding them back that was completely not related to the business. And that's the work that all of you need to embrace and explore and go further down that path. And the inner work is also, for some people, a cop-out. It's funny how there's two sides to everything, right? It's like there's some people that are so obsessed with the inner work, they do zero outer work. It's like they take zero action, but they meditate all day. Or they do plant medicine every weekend and they don't have any ads running. They don't have any ways to reach people and have conversations that actually can grow your business. So too far in any direction isn't going to work. What matters more so is what is the most obvious area that you need to work on. So if you've been doing inner work for a long time and you've overcame so many things inner, then that's probably an area that maybe you can put a little bit less effort towards. Just maintain some simple practices. Maybe it's a simple morning routine. Maybe it's a little bit of meditation each day or something like that, just to kind of keep you operating in that way. And then put all of your energy towards maybe sales or marketing or ads or personal branding or these other aspects that you're not that great at because you've never put that much time towards. And that balance of recognizing this is really what I need to get better at, this is the next natural step for me, is the part that is the work, Like for me, I learned this so much over the years is like, if I get ahead of myself, if I start thinking like, how do I solve for X, but X is step 10 and I still haven't even overcame the first 9 steps, then what's the point even if I did solve for X on step 10? It's going to be completely irrelevant to like my skill set. I'll just sit there. I'll be like, I'm really amazing at AI video editing. It's like, cool, bro. That's not helping you. but I watched all these videos I'm so great at. It's like, okay, let's bring it back to reality. What's the next thing that you need to do? And in the simplest terms, it's usually lead generation. for most people initially is the main thing that they got to crack the code to for their own businesses, is like just having opportunities to connect with people, talk to people, get on the phone with people, eyeballs, new fresh faces, and interested people. That's the first thing. But in order for you to generate leads, we got to rewind it back a few steps. And that's where the inner work, the mindset, the personal development, those things help us by actually being someone that is attractive to get someone to be interested in whatever we're talking about, our products or services or offers. You know what I mean? So all I'm getting at here is, for everybody on this call, you're all in a little bit of a different stage of your journeys. You have different backgrounds, experiences. You've been in this particular business for different amounts of time, some with sales, some no sales. Everybody's in a little different place. But recognizing where you are and what your intuition's like, I really need to just get good at this like one thing, or I really need to address this like wound from when I was younger, or this belief that I hold so strongly about X, Y, Z, etc. Or maybe it's seeing people celebrating their monthly incomes, quarterly incomes, and things like this, and you feel in some type of way about that is probably not very healthy or constructive to your success personally. It's probably something you should look at. Don't ignore it. Don't sleep on it. Don't sweep it under the rug, and then tomorrow you're like pretending like it never happened. It's like, no, it did happen. You did feel that, and there's a reason. Find out what it is, and I'm telling you, you'll have a massive breakthrough when you do that, okay? So if it applies to you, good. For some of you, it might not apply to you, and that's also good. But I just wanted to touch on that because I've noticed this over the years. It's very fascinating to me how we can have such a positive celebration type of post for someone, like celebrating them, all of their hard work and effort and things like this, and very few people interact. And then when I look at the reach, because I own the Facebook group, the reach is 4,000 and there's 100 comments. You don't have to be a rocket doctor to figure out that some people feel in some type of way where they can't take 2 seconds and leave a comment and congratulate them and say, despite your own financial issues that you may be going through at the moment, still putting that aside and going, you know what, fair enough, that's the situation I'm in right now, but they deserve me to say, great fucking job, you inspire me, or something, whatever. So I pay attention to this kind of stuff because as a leader of a large business, I have to be aware. And then interestingly enough, the people that celebrate each other are usually the ones who are winning. It's like, you know what I mean? It's like when you're the one on stage, cheer and give a round of applause as if it was you on stage, because one day it might be you. And if nobody stands up and nobody claps and nobody says great job or any of that stuff, it probably wouldn't feel very good if you were on stage and it was just quiet. You know what I mean? So same thing in business. People rank advancing to legacy. If your goal is to one day reach a similar goal, whether it's rank, income, freedom, buying investment property, whatever it is, and someone else does it, shouldn't you be the one cheering the loudest because you're like, literally, that's a preview of what's coming for me soon? And so I'm going to celebrate them as if it was me hitting it. Does this make sense for everybody, how it's all connected? So we are all integrated in this bigger community. And the more people that are showing it's possible, the more real it is, right? We have so much evidence and so much proof that it's not just me. And interestingly, in my business, when I first started, for the first 2 years, I didn't have any people that were my rank. And I closed all the business for my team. So I actually have real world experience feeling as if only I was truly winning. And it was a really weird place to be because it was like all these people, and then I'd get on the phone with their people and I'd close a sale for them and all this kind of stuff. And then all of a sudden I'm like, if I disappeared and just quit or left or whatever, like would any of these people win? And for a while there, the answer felt like it would be no. Everybody would leave, everybody would stop, etc. And then we went 2 more years, 3 more years later, and all of a sudden it was like success story, success story, success story, success story everywhere. And I actually personally wasn't that responsible or involved with those people. And now it's gotten to this point now where 100 countries, different languages, different cultures, different ages, different backgrounds, different careers. There is just undeniable proof and evidence at this point that you can do this. And that is all you need. So once you have that, then literally cheer and celebrate and acknowledge and give a shout out and a DM and a personal message and all the things like you fucking mean it. because that is coming back to you, and it will be your turn eventually to have that. Does that make sense for everybody? It's so important, and a lot of people miss this. They don't think it's that important. They don't think it's a big deal. They'll do the like. They'll do the like, and that's it. And it's almost like I look at the like button these days as almost like insulting. It used to be like a cool thing, like I like your post, but I'm like, you only like it? Like, that's fucking insulting. I'm just kidding. I don't personally care about any of this stuff in terms of my stuff, but I know it affects people, right? So anyways, that's all I wanted to share. We got lots of new faces. We got lots of people commenting, is like, just celebrate each other. And your turn is coming too, right? That's the best part. And if you guys didn't see, apparently I, as in all of us in GPM and the wider community, placed first place in the new contest in October. The results haven't officially been released in the next day or two or whatever, but I'm pretty sure it's in the bag. I'm pretty sure it's a done deal. And that is just so incredible, because once again, I was talking about this a little bit recently, where if you actually knew what would happen in your business in 5 years from today or 10 years from today, you wouldn't, you would be building your business with even more energy, even more effort, even more dedication, even more focus. And here's what I wanted to quickly share, and then I'll transition into the Q&A stuff today, so I don't bore you guys with all my ranting. But anyways, the biggest point was, it took me 5.5 years, I think, roughly, let's just call it 5 years, to do the first 6,000 product sales in my business, total, all encompassing. 5 years. It's a long ass time, but not really. One hand yes, another hand no. 5 years. We now do the same equivalent of 6,000 product sales every 30 days. Just imagine 5 years of effort and work, not just me, collectively, to now do it every 30 days. And it's going up. We grew by 7% month over month, which is unbelievable. I think 7% month over month is almost doubling every 12 months. It's very close. It's 80 something percent, I think. If you go 7% month over month, in 1 year we double, which is, say what? And then same thing with bonuses. As you know, when you hit 682-3, you get a one-time title incentive of $25,000 USD. And of course, when you hit that goal and you receive that title incentive, it's special and it's meaningful. And not only is it about the $25,000, which is a nice amount of money, it's just like, it represents something. You know what I mean? Like, it represents the blood, sweat, and tears, long nights, early mornings, all the things that come with that journey. And this new bonus, this new contest, I should say, I got a $50,000 bonus for the month from a contest that I didn't have to do anything differently. Like, nothing changed. I just do exactly the same as I did before the contest. An extra $50,000. So the point that I'm getting at for all of you is, if that happens down the track for you, right? Which I don't know for sure about contests and how Enagic's going to operate in the future, but would that be worth it to go through the things that you're currently going through, the struggles, maybe the ups and downs, maybe not being able to crack certain codes on certain aspects of yourself or your business so far? It will be worth it. And there's no other type of career or business that I'm aware of that truly rewards you if you just kind of zoom out with a longer lens and look at things from a little bit of a different timeline. Like, okay, well, if I worked for free, meaning I have no sales, for 3 years, but I showed up every day as if I got a paycheck every 2 weeks, would you take that deal if 5 years after that, now we're in year 8, you made $100,000 a month, repeat every month, whether you did anything or not? These are the types of questions that have really motivated me when I was going through a difficult time, a dark time, a challenging time. I play these games with myself. I'm like, if this, then would I that? And then sometimes it's very illogical. Like, why would I work for free for 3 years? Most people won't. But the people that consistently show up, you eventually have to figure it out. Like, let's be honest. Like, there's no way that you can continue practicing to do something and trying different things and learning new material and going back to the drawing board and trying it again and be like, maybe not this, maybe this. This didn't work. Let me try this. How many times do you do that until it works? Like, come on, guys. Seriously. There's no way, right? So where most people actually don't see results is not that they are doing what I just said. What they're actually doing is the same thing over and over and over again, expecting a different result. That's not the same of what I'm saying. I'm saying trying it a new way, a different way, a slight tweak, a slight adjustment. That will eventually lead you to figuring it out. But so many people get stuck in like, well, this is the way that I think it should be, and therefore I'm going to keep just trying it over and over and over. And then it's like, well, no shit, man. Like, it's not working because you just just doesn't make sense. So anyways, I'll stop there because I could just go off. I'm just like on another level right now with my energy after just depositing all these bonuses and stuff. I think like, between us, like not to rub it in or not to brag or nothing, just purely inspirational. I have to add it all up, but I think I had like 400K month or something. Like, what? Like, what? Like, I'm telling you, this is coming from, you guys know my story. It's like, I don't even know the numbers right now. And then plus on top of that, the bonuses and this and that, and it's so abundant. They're just like handing out cash and rewarding us and all the things. But that's a lot of coin for a month. It's a lot of coin in a year, but in a month, like, holy Batman. So I'm on another level. This call is going to be absolutely fire if it isn't already fire. So far, for all of you that are on your first call, you're getting fire, you're getting inspired, you're getting some mojo from this call. Let me know in the chat if you're feeling the energy and the good vibes. And let's kind of get right into it. And like I said, for the last thing I want to share, the reason why I mention stuff like that, it's uncomfortable for me to kind of talk about numbers and stuff, like especially numbers that big. But for me, in the beginning, when I first started my business, I was actually going online and I was searching for anybody in this company that was doing it big. I wanted to see the numbers. I wanted to see the potential, because up until there's the comp plan in terms of like a slide deck or a PowerPoint that's like, oh, you can make this and whatever. And you're like, okay, cool. But like, show me someone who's doing that. Show me someone who has those results and those numbers. And I remember seeing a guy named Romy, who's our upline actually, far up. He's the -7 above my -6 account. And he went away. I think I've shared this before, but he went away to the Philippines with his family. This is back in, 9 years ago. Okay. So he went to the Philippines with his family, and he went and like built a school there and built a church there, like out of his pocket from his Enagic income. And I think he was a -4 or something like this at the time. And then he came back after a few weeks and he went to the mailbox. And in America and Canada, we still do checks. Some of you are getting direct deposit in other parts of the world, but we still get the checks. And so he went to the mailbox and he came back and showed a stack of checks, like, no joke, from 3 weeks. Like, he could barely even squeeze it together, right? And he was wearing a shirt, black t-shirt with an American Express logo, like a American Express black card, the one that has no limit and you just buy whatever with it. So the black card on his shirt, it said Bank of Dad. He's holding this stack of checks. And I saw that. I stared at it, kind of neutral. Like, I wasn't like envious or jealous or excited or anything. I was just kind of looking at that. I like burned it into my memory, like in my imagination, just burned this image of Bank of Dad, huge stack of checks, 3-week holiday with the fam. Done. Logged off Facebook, got to work. Literally all I needed. So for those of you on this call that are similar to me, where you're like, just tell me the story, let me see the thing, give me an example, and let me get back to work. This whole story and this intro to today's call was for you, because that's literally the type of person I am. I just needed that, and I was off to the races. And now I'm getting pretty close to probably matching Romy's income, which is pretty crazy. 9 years later. I'm getting probably pretty close. He has a little edge on me just because he's the higher rank and stuff. But in terms of monthly income, I think we're getting real close to each other. So that's pretty badass.